Welcome back. You're watching Daily Dive, only Monday through Friday live lacrosse talk show. Today is March 7th. I am your host for today, Leroy, along with my co-host, Patrick. Pat, how you feeling, my guy?
I'm feeling good, just staying warm up here in Snowbelt, Ontario. How
Yep,
you
yep.
doing?
So I'm all right. A little nervous, but we'll get through it. We are live on 12 Ounce Sports via YouTube and Roku TV. Subscribe to the 12 Ounce Sports YouTube channel for other great shows and live sports. Today we're just going to preview the Week 15 in the NLL. We got 6 game slate. 3 games tonight, 3 games tomorrow. So starting off first, we have at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Toronto at Halifax in the Scotiabank Center. Toronto this year is their record's 3-8. Halifax is 7-4. Toronto's coming off the bye after a week of rest and after the big trade of Nick Rose to Calgary. We also have Halifax coming off the 9-5 win versus Vegas. So Pat, what do you got for Toronto Halifax?
Yeah, this one's an exciting one. Friday night, going to be a packed barn out east. A shout out to the Toronto Rock Roadies. I know a few of them making the drive down to the nest there to support the boys despite the depleted roster. But yeah, Halifax on a 5-game winning streak here. A team, as we get closer to the playoffs, is only getting better. We had the whole incident in Colorado that was kind of a bit of a, dark time in the Halifax days, but the team, has pulled it together, especially in the last, 5 games here. Hill has been solid in the back end. And yeah, I look to see a great pack barn out there. We got a total of 23.5 for the most books on this game here. So again, Halifax looking to make a good run into the playoffs. They don't want to finish near the bottom because no one wants to play a Saskatchewan or a Bandits in the first round or anything. So I'd definitely be looking for the vets in Halifax to not put the brakes on here, not to relax, because the remaining schedule is a little bit tough. They've got the Seals, they got the Bandits, Georgia as well, Saskatchewan, and Ottawa. So for Halifax here, you want to take advantage of this depleted Rock team. You want to get the win and continue that push for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's a tough rest of schedule for the rest of the season. Next we got 2 games at 10:30 p.m. tonight Eastern Time. First we got Rochester at Las Vegas in the Lee's Family Forum. Rochester's record this year is 6-7. Vegas, not having the best season. They're 3-9. Vegas is coming off that 9-5 loss versus Halifax, and at home they're going to be looking to steal a win versus Rochester. Rochester's coming off a big 14-7 win versus Albany. In that game, you had Ryan Smith. He had 4 goals. Connor Fields had 5 assists. So, it's probably going to be another big game for those two. Pat, you got anything for Roch Vegas?
Yeah, look, there's an interesting little logjam happening here in the playoff run. You got 4 teams at 5 and 6, and Rochester, coming in to play Las Vegas. Las Vegas can pack that barn and they can put on a show. You can't take that team lightly. They made a couple moves recently to improve. So Rochester has two games in hand on the 4 teams that are 5 and 6. So they can't afford to drop games to teams below 500 right now. They got the total on most books around 24.5. We got Riley Hutchcraft back in net. I can definitely see this being a low-scoring game. But yeah, heavy lean on Rochester, knowing that they got to play the Seals that are 5 and 6, getting better. They play Ottawa twice, another team that's 5-6. So they've got a few matches coming into the last weeks of the NLL here against, hungry teams that want to get them for that playoff spot. So having 2 games in hand, you can't afford to drop any of these ones down the stretch here.
Yeah, at home too, especially. They've had these two home games. So next game tonight, also at 10:30, we got Vancouver at San Diego in Pechanga Arena. Just like you said, both these teams are tied records of 5-6. Both teams coming off a bye with a week of rest. These are 2 great defensive teams. You got Zach Carrier and Owen Grant are tied this season with 20 caused turnovers. And then Ryan Dilks is ahead of both of them with 24 caused turnovers. So, like I said, 2 great defensive teams, probably going to be a low-scoring game. So, Pat, what do you got for Vancouver or San Diego?
Well, I'll be honest. If I were to tell you right now that one of these teams is +4 in goal differential and one of these teams is -4 goal differential, you would probably call me a liar if I told you that the Vancouver Warriors had the +4 and the Seals at this point in the season had the -4. However, the Seals, again, teams getting hot late in the season, looking to make a playoff run. They're well aware that, the Seals, Philadelphia Wings, the Warriors, the Black Bears, they're all 5-6 right now. So these games here really matter. The Seals on that 3-game win streak, they're coming in here with a lot of power, a lot of energy. Home field where they get that place rocking. And yes, they lost 11-9 earlier in the season, I believe, January 10th it was. So, do you lose twice in this league to the same team? I'm hoping not. Most books got this at 20.5, so they're expecting a very low scoring affair, despite Berg coming off a few good nights, couple OT winners and whatnot. So that one's a little interesting, but definitely look for San Diego to take control of this game at home and put their fate for the playoff run in their own hands and take this one, knowing too they got Albany twice in Vegas, so their end of the year schedule loosens up a little bit. But again, you don't want to drop a game here to a team you're battling for that playoff spot. Yeah.
And just like Mike says in the comments, the Seals are hot right now. And, although in the season, I feel like a lot of road teams, have won, but I do feel like San Diego puts up a lot of goals at home. At least it feels that way. Seals are hot right now. But let's go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Saturday's games.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them, with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them. Yeah. Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sports book, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So this show is presented by 12 Ounce Sports. Go to tickets.12ouncesports.com to get all your NLL tickets for less. That website includes every sport and all your favorite artist concerts and more. All right, so let's get into the Saturday slate of games. So there's going to be 3 staggered games. Love when the NLL schedule is that way, so you can get a little bit to watch every game. First at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Calgary at Buffalo in sold out KeyBank Center, Banditland. Calgary this year is at 6-6. Buffalo, at the top is 9-1. Calgary's coming off an 11-8 loss to Colorado. Buffalo coming off a hard-fought, close 9-7 game versus Saskatchewan. Dane Smith also had 5 assists in that game. So, looking for Dane and Josh to have another great game here. Pat, what do you got for Calgary Buffalo?
Look, man, this is going to be a crazy game. Sold out halfway through the week. You got to love that. Like, we need more barns like this. Let's get the people out. The heart and soul of me is a Roughnecks fan. And as everyone knows, I've had my battles with Rosie over the years of how he played. And when he got traded from the Rock, there was a lot of discussions among many fans of, over the last 13 years, like, was it Rosie's fault? Was it the offense? Was it the defense? Well, look, Rosie's out. And I've said this for the last year or so, like Rosie needed a trade. I would have loved to see Del Bianco and Rosie had been traded straight up back in the day. 2 amazing goalies, just needed different sceneries. But we're where we're at, and Rosie's going to be back in the pipes against the team that's his kryptonite, the Buffalo Bandits. And it's no April Fool's joke that the last time Rosie had a win against the Buffalo Bandits was April 1st, 2023. Rosie has a 9-game losing streak against the Buffalo Bandits. He is letting in more than 10 goals a game on average over that streak. Not looking good for him. But with that being said, this is his time to prove, was it me? Was it my team? I'm looking at Rosie to have a big performance here. This is the only game on the books that has a plus spread of 2.5, -2.5. The over-under is about 24.5 on most books. I love the under. You got the biggest defense in the league of the Buffalo Bandits with Vince going up against, Rosie that they've dominated. But this is a new look Rosie. This is a new attitude Rosie. This is it's me, it's my time Rosie. So I really love the under in this game. But this one's definitely a must watch for those fans of Rosie, those old Rock fans, the fans of the Rock offense that believe it's, the last 13 years were on Rose. So, look for an exciting game here in a packed barn. Calgary's not shy with this crowd. Dobie and Dixon have been in the spotlight. The Rough House has a great atmosphere as well. I've been to both places. So, Calgary's not going to be scared of this crowd. I expect this to be a close game. I expect it to be a low-scoring game, but it's going to be a one to watch for sure.
I'd expect Calgary's going to try to clean some stuff up on the back end. Like every goalie likes to see their shots differently. It's when I play, it's one of the first things I do is I ask the goalie, where do you like to see your shots come from? Some like, the sides, some like the top. So, it's something to be interesting to see if they do clean that up a little bit, clean up the defense, and see how Rosie's going to do back there. So for the
100%. And
second game,
they're also on a
oh, sorry.
back-to-back. I seen
Yeah,
too, right? So the next two games are going to be very interesting. Calgary in a playoff run as well. They're playing the Bandits twice, then they got the Seals as well. So these next two games are going to be very crucial for the Roughnecks.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you're
So,
right. Last week was a bit of a rough outing on
Yeah.
the part of the defense in Calgary. So we're definitely looking to see them, smoothing out those edges for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So for the second game on Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you have Albany at Philadelphia in Wells Fargo Center. Albany not having the best year with a record of 3-9. Philly at 5-6. Philly coming off the bye week where the last game was against Albany. I was actually at that game in MVP Arena. Doug Jameson had 47 saves. Albany's going to need another 40, 50 save night, to keep them in it. Ty Kurtz had 4 goals that game. Alex Simmons had 4 assists. Also friends of the program, Mitch Jones had 8 loose balls. Joe Rositeras had 3, assists. So, and another thing to think about is, it's Brennan O'Neill versus Dyson Williams, head-to-head matchup for the Rookie of the Year chase. So it should be interesting to see how this game goes.
Yeah, Albany's your team, man.
Mm-hmm.
They,
Yeah.
my opinion on them. They've burnt me for a couple parlays this year, so the degenerate gambler in me curses them. But yeah, who would have thought those rookies would have went, played the way they did last year? And I guess it's, it rings true once those cards come out. Once you know what they do and how they play, it makes a big difference. And maybe that's what's kind of hindering that offense this season. But Philly, one of those 5-6 teams, Albany can play spoiler here. They also got the Seals twice down the stretch, another 5-6 team battling for that final playoff spot. This game, I think, is about 25 and a half for the game total across the boards. Nick Demude hasn't really lived up to the expectations in my kind of eyes anyways this season. Especially the way he looked at the end of the season with Panther City. And, we get it when you change teams. It's a different, like you're saying, it's a different chemistry with the defense, trying to figure out how to play. But I could see this one being a good goalie battle, especially what you were saying about Dougie last week, kind of, coming off a heater. So I definitely like the under in this game for sure, and look for Philly to battle hard because they want that final playoff spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd expect Philly's going to want to take a lot more shots than they did last game, and obviously try to put more behind Dougie. But the third and final game on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Saskatchewan at Georgia in Gas South Arena. Saskatchewan at for a record of 9-3, Georgia 7-4. Both teams kind of having a great season. Saskatchewan coming off that close 9-7 loss to Buffalo. They're going to be looking for another win, and for Zach Mans to go off. Again, he had 4+ goals in that game versus Buffalo. And then you also have Georgia coming off a big 15-9 win versus Ottawa, where Lyle Thompson had a hat trick. Shane Jackson had 4 assists. So, Georgia's obviously going to want to play up, for the occasion and, have their stars have great games.
Yeah, 15-9 win. That's a big number, seeing as Georgia, for above 500 teams, has the lowest goal differential in that group. They did have a few injuries at the beginning of the year, and the Thompson brothers didn't get to play together all season. Yeah, we got some players back now. Is Church going to be in? That's a big question for Saskatchewan. They got the total at 20.5 on most books, which is pretty wild. But again, you got Saskatchewan with their solid D core and Frankie playing the way he is this season against Georgia, that we know have struggled to put up those numbers at the the lowest plus goal differential and above 500 teams. So it says a lot there. And on that note,
that's right.
I heard that the Georgia Swarm have a little something planned in the lines of Mikey getting Dobson's backup equipment and having some shots fired on him at halftime.
Yeah.
I'll have to keep an eye on the Georgia Swarm page to see what happens in that game at the halftime with our boy Michael. Also,
I mean, Kai the goalie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, get the American version of CAA there, bud. You don't want to look at another flat tire coming back from that one. Hey, someone get on the horn, get this guy some insurance for that.
I heard he's walking to the game. That's why he's not here today. So
yeah.
Hopefully he's there by 7:30 on Saturday. But let's go to another quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with Mike's Pick'ems and Daily Dive's Best Bets.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
You need tickets to that next event? We've got them. That's right, tickets.12ozsports.com. Get you to any sporting event, concert, theater event that you can think of. And the promo code 12OZ or ROME gets you an additional discount. Don't feed the massive ticket corporate machine. Go to tickets.12ozsports.com and enjoy the show. Get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water. Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Make sure to go to our store at dailydivelax.creator-spring.com to get some of the Daily Dive merch. We have cups, shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, all types of stuff. You'll see the link down below. But next, let's get into Mike's Pick'ems and our Daily Dive best bets. Let's get into it. So Mike here, for the season, he's got a record of 45-35. He's got Halifax in the Toronto versus Halifax game. For Roch versus Las Vegas, he's going with Rochester. Vancouver versus San Diego, he's going with San Diego. And Calgary versus Buffalo, he's got Colorado. That's pretty interesting. I'm not sure where he's going there, but you can message Mike about that one. Albany versus Philly, he's going with Philly. And then for Saskatchewan and Georgia, he's going with Saskatchewan. So those are his pick'ems for the week. But I believe Mike's going with the Bandits versus the Calgary. So for best bets, my record so far is 5-2. I started late, but I got Thunderbirds -1.5. I'm going Nighthawks money line, Bandits money line, and then Firewolves +1.5. I have to rep for the boys. Can't help myself.
Betting with your heart, man. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, we got Mike here, 26-18. That's an impressive record over this season. Thunderbirds money line at home against Toronto. That's some great value across most books. Curtis Dixon under 6.5. I like that, especially with that big decor in Buffalo. Albany, Philly under 25.5. That's looking decent too. Got 2 hot goalies, one that's due for sure, and Dougie's red hot right now. Sass, Georgia under 22.5. Looking for that slow Georgia team to fall into that trap of Saskatchewan's D. I like it. I got some picks here. I'm 4 and 5, but with my wild parlays, I'm +1 unit to this point. I got a little greedy. I like the Thunderbirds to win by 2. I believe we got Halachuk starting. Really looking for Toronto not to have that chemistry with coming off a bye week and a bunch of new faces in the roster. Seals, they're red hot right now, tied 5 and 6 in that playoff run. Again, I'm looking greedy, taking them by 2 over a Vancouver team that, they've got a good solid decor, but Seals are red hot right now. A couple OT wins off, some big teams, Rosie with the Rock before they're dismantled and the Bandits. So that'll be a good matchup as well. And then, I'm on board with Mike, Albany and Philly under 25.5. And of course, I couldn't resist. I threw together another parlay. The Bandits money line. Again, I'm looking at Rosie. Does he finally win another game since April 1st, 2023? I doubt it. Seals money line, a team that's hungry and in the hunt, and Thunderbirds money line. Playing that depleted Rock team. So
yeah,
see how she goes this week. Gonna be some great matches.
Yeah, definitely. Well, all right. Be sure to follow us on the social medias at Daily Dive Lax, and me and Pat's socials down below our names there. And thank you for watching today's show.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. As Mike would say, you are the Pat and Leroy to Saving Daily Dive today.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.